I always watch it.
Yeah, I don't remember how to look at all of it. But I mean, well, 2 minutes or so. Oh, you're wherever, but just currently looking at the screen while you're doing the loading. So it might be pleasantly distracting. Unless we just have a automatic pause. I don't know. I know if there's a cord or if you can go do it.
I'll ask her. She's like,
I am
City.
I will.
Okay.
wonderful. We like to.
I know some of these guys are Gemini.
They are not.
Bob, cheers. Okay.
But I think that they sold the original, and then
It's a great idea.
sure, I think the same, the rest of everything.
Good afternoon, everyone. Did that work? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the new year. Many times of year. Thank you all for coming. And looks like we're almost at full capacity, so that's great. So I would like to call the meeting to order and remind you that we have Slido on the screen. If you're new, we just scan that QR, and that's a way we can keep track of who's attending. And it's the sort of the AI world we live in. Thank you, Ned, for organizing that. All right, I would like to call for a motion to approve the agenda for this meeting, as well as the minutes of our December 25 meeting.
Can I answer a question on the agenda? I noticed that you don't have anything for neighborhood comments or any neighborhoods that have.
I have written it in since.
Oh, okay, great. Then we're
Yes.
covered. Then
Okay.
I move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, gentlemen in the front rows, thank you very much. And we will move forward. All right, as always, like to recognize anyone that's new, that's not been here before. Show of hands. Yes, you've been here before. No? Oh, okay.
I wanted to introduce all of you to Bill, my brother, and my sister. Her name is Evelyn, and Evelyn flew in yesterday from New Mexico. She is here because she misses me and she misses Bill. And she's here for Bill's book signing, which takes place tomorrow. So please welcome my sister.
Anyone else visiting for the first time? The second, the third? Okay, well, thank you for all coming back. It's not on the agenda, but as I promised Paul, we usually ask if there's any issues in neighborhoods that are we don't know about, but should know about. And I know Carlene, you've got to be first, so if you want to go ahead.
Okay, the BMW dealership sold, and they had a party, and it was outside. The van was up against the wall where the property for Safari Mobile Home Park is, and let's just say it was very loud, the drummer and everything else. So I'm wondering, can they have these events there at that business outside? Because all the other ones with Porsche and everyone else are inside.
That's a code enforcement question. Anyone in the room with code that has a quick comment to that? I'm looking in the northeasterly direction. No? Okay. Oh, okay. All right, well, Carlene, they've taken note of that, so we'll give you some feedback on that. Thank you. Paul, I think you had a question, or you just were point of ordering?
It was just a point of order.
All right, well, we can count on that. Thank you so much. Let's count on that. All right, so we've gotten a lot of feedback in the past about this meeting going too long. And even when it's on time, it's late. So we wanted to try and do this starting at 4 p.m. instead of 4:30. That way we're done by 5:30. That doesn't mean we're going to creep to 6. That's my promise. So we're going to try that unless you all like say no, heck no. I'm not seeing any protests at the moment. So we try that at the next meeting, and hopefully that is good. That being said, we don't have this room next meeting, so talk about changes all in one day. So we'll get to you soon when we find out where there's a new ballroom in town. Bad joke. But there doesn't seem to be space in town to hold this many people, which is very interesting. None of that space is available that night. So we're going to work on that. That'll be a new adventure. But not quite. So February 10th at 4 at a location soon to be announced. But we appreciate your good humor. Yes, you're going to volunteer?
We used to have the meetings over at the training center, and I think the capacity there was 88, if memory serves well. I don't know if that at the fire training center.
There are offices now there. They have little cubicles, so it's a lot smaller. So there's not enough room for this many people, which is a great
Okay.
turnout. So, yeah.
Nice try. So we'll let you know very soon because I don't even know and I got to be there. All right, so appreciate your flexibility with that. I want to give you an update on our little pet project, our Measure J blade sign project. Again, I want to thank Measure J for their indulgence in this project. If you go to our website, I think it's on our website by now, or will be, a PowerPoint deck, a PDF deck of all the intersections in town where the new signs would potentially go. There's going to be about 180 new signs, and these are on traffic, the traffic light poles. So to distinguish that this is not interior within neighborhoods, this is at intersections where there are traffic lights. That's what was approved. Anyway, we've driven around town, we put maps together, it should be pretty clear. So please go look at that if you would like. I'd like to cut that off about the 31st of the month, into this month, so that we can get on with this, and by the end of the season, maybe have all these signs up. So that is my ambition. So give it a couple of weeks to take a look at that, feedback me if you wish, but yeah, we're pretty excited. We got approved for it, and a lot of intersections that would have new signs that say you are, well, it doesn't say, it just says the name of your neighborhood, but they don't exist now, so that's why we did that. So please take a look, and if you can give it by the end of the month, that would be great.
When you say take a look, what do you mean?
There's a deck on the website, so if you want to flip through, it shows you every intersection that's being considered.
Okay, thank you.
And some of yours are already done because you took care of that.
We did.
You did. Nice.
Some.
Lisa, did you have a quick announcement on?
Yeah, very quick. Next month, OnePS is participating. Well, next month is Black History Month, and OnePS is participating.
next month, as it always does. Thank you very much. And we're going to have a booth at the fair, and we're hoping to be able to have a wonderful car again, as we have in the past. Larry Profeta, who's been a big fan and a big friend of 1PS in the past, and given us a car from Exotic Cars, is not able to do it this year. So Patrick is going to be trying to use his magic and come up with a car from someone else. We're also going to have a booth at the fair like we always do, and I'm calling you because we need volunteers. And you might wonder, why does 1PS actually show up at this particular fair? It's that Palm Springs is a city of diversity. We support diversity. 1PS represents Palm Springs, and so therefore we're very interested in diversity as well. So there are flyers in the back for other Black History Committee activities, but I'm sending around a volunteer sheet, please. Surely you can find 2 hours out of the month of February. It's on Saturday, February 28th. Surely you can find 2 hours just to sign up, enjoy the fresh air, meet a lot of people, and have a good afternoon. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, please, no.
Josh, another welcome addition. Josh talking about the zoning code process. 30 seconds or more.
Hi everyone, I'm gonna make this really, really quick, but we're about halfway through the zoning code update process, and we have a really important community meeting coming up on Monday the 26th at the Palm Springs Convention Center. So I'm gonna pass around some flyers. Really would encourage all of you to be there. We're gonna talk about smart growth. We all know we need more affordable housing, more workforce housing, but how and where do we accomplish that? So really encourage all of you to attend. We also are going to have a virtual meeting on February the 4th. So if you can't make it in person, please come to that. So hope that was quick. I want to pass around some flyers, but really hope you can all attend. So.
Question. Got it.
So will it also be covering the 9-foot, 9-story?
Yes, not 9 stories, but yes, we are talking about height. And where is maybe looking at some taller buildings appropriate in the city. So that will be something we'll be discussing, but not 9 stories. Yeah, so.
You lowered it?
Yeah, that's totally separate. That's section 14, which is separate from the zoning code update. So.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, as you know, we have a new council, city council, and we have representatives from them today, including our mayor and Councilmember Bernstein, and whoever gets the microphone first. I believe the mayor is approaching. So Madam Mayor, welcome back to 1PS.
Hi, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with you all again. And in my mayor role, excited to spend some time with you every month in 4 o'clock, 4:30, whatever time you all decide. We'll be here to kind of share some important updates. So just wanted to share some kind of high level activity that we've seen in the last few weeks, and just something to think about. The film festival wrapped up on Monday, over 100, I think it was 188 total films, just an incredible week and a half of activity, of visitors. Our restaurants were packed, our streets were full. So thank you for racing with the traffic a little bit. I hope you got to enjoy it. And every year the film festival is a huge city lift. It's public safety, it's fire, it's police, it's public works, it's our communications team, it's really everyone. And so I just want to say big thanks to all of our departments for making that such a huge success. A couple things around that also happened around the holidays. There was several street closures from the storms on both Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. For both of those storms, all 3 roads of Isachino, Geometry, and Indian Canyon were closed for various periods of time. If you are not signed up for Everbridge for announcements and updates about our roads, please do. Check with your neighbors, check with your neighborhoods. Like, let's get more people notified with those Everbridge notifications. I can't tell you how many emails we got asking which road was open and when. If you have visitors coming in, it's really important to know which roads are open. And so, I get that it's tough around the holidays to kind of always get the latest update and such information will follow, but Everbridge is gonna be your number one point.
Yeah.
Maybe. Everbridge is gonna be your number one point on getting all of those updates.
It's temperamental.
It's gonna use the force. So those were just two of the main things that I wanted to share around from the around the holidays. A new park playground just opened. So, and Ruth Hardy, we literally, a bunch of us were at the ribbon cutting at the playground for Ruth Hardy. It is a beautiful space. I swear, I feel like the whole park is transformed. The playground itself was a $1.5 million investment and replacement. It can fit over 350 children at one time. It's very ADA compliant. So if you have little visitors or nieces and nephews or grandchildren, it is beautiful. If you have short-term rentals, highly, highly recommend really plugging in our parks, because our parks are different than they were a few years ago. And I personally go a lot with my kids, and there's a lot of visitors whose mouths are on the floor for how impressive these spaces are. And so really want to encourage that this is something that we are proud of. This is something we're bragging about. This is something we're sharing with our neighbors and with our visitors who are coming in. Similarly tied to that, Parks and Rec recently, they just launched their quarterly, it's like a quarterly program summary. It's called PLAY. If anyone remembers what the PLAY acronym, it's very cute. It's a very cute acronym that I can't remember right now, but it's a full summary of all the programs offerings that are happening. So everything from Tai Chi and the Aquatic Center and different classes. And so again, we want to make sure these spaces are accessible to you all. And that's going to be a resource that's coming out every quarter. A quick plug for the council meeting tomorrow. So there's a couple of affordable housing projects that are up for discussion and have public hearings. Both of those are on San Rafael, and a couple other, there's kind of our rosters, and I'm trying to think if there's any other big ones, but the two affordable housing projects is one that we're really excited about. We want to make sure housing is possible and that we're continuing that investment that the previous city councils have really committed to. So I'll be here for a little bit for questions. I know we also have Councilmember Jeffrey Bernstein and City Manager Scott Stiles. So thank you for having me.
Attended the film festival. Do you know?
How many attended the film festival? Do we know?
Huh?
Yeah. Pop quiz.
A lot.
Counted my ticket sales, so attendees of my ticket sales, so it's 135,000.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's great.
So, thank you so much.
I noticed when the police department uses that mic, it never has problems. I think there's a sabotage switch.
Hello?
Here you go. Maybe if you stand here, right?
Hello.
There we
Okay.
go.
Couple of things. If you need a car, check with Great Autos. They have great cars and they donate them to all the parades. Okay. Great Autos. It's the Gay Auto
Oh,
Club.
yeah.
Great Autos donates them for all the parades, and they do it for Black History for the councils in Mitchell. So anyway, thank you. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. A couple things from the December council meeting. We had first, importantly, we had our quarterly budget update. We promised to do it every quarter after our last budget. So far, this was a pretty good one. The first quarter is about 10% of our budget of the year. First quarter is July, August, September, but numbers were good. And last year we ended up a little bit ahead of what we thought once everything came in. And this first quarter, TOT and sales tax were down, but other things were up. So we are hopeful. And so far this year, we are looking at TOT as doing which is the main source of our income, is doing pretty well.
What does down mean?
Down, it was down a few percentage in the first quarter, but again, the first quarter accounts for such a small percent. October was like 20% above last year, so things are looking pretty good. In that sense, we'll see. We'll have another budget update in February, which will be our half-year update, which will be a little bit more meaningful. Also in December, we came up with the tribal warehouse, which everybody heard about. This is their property. They have to go through what is called a conformity report, where they come to council and say, tell us what things are right or wrong with this. We told them it did not conform for all these reasons. By doing that, we then, and we had to do it December 10th, we then can now request a joint tribal council, city council meeting to discuss this. So that is going to happen June 3rd at the convention center, and it is open to the public, and there is public comment there allowed. So that's going to happen. We also, as Mayor mentioned, we have the 2 affordable housing units on San Rafael. Now, something interesting. Monarch Apartments, which opened about 18 months ago, was the first affordable housing unit to open in the city in 14 years. We've had 2 other ones since then. We've had Vista Sunrise 2 and Aloe. And now we have 2 on San Rafael. We approved to move forward 1 on Gene Autry, and also United Methodist is moving forward with 1. So that's 4 more affordable housing after those other 2, which is pretty good for our city, and that sort of helps a lot with meeting our housing requirements. Also on tomorrow night is the new downtown fire station presentation. So this is the downtown fire station number 1, which is on India around Amato. It's a 70-year-old historic building. It has to be upgraded. It can't have a ladder truck. It can't house female firefighters. It's very outdated. So that's going to happen. A presentation, not a decision tomorrow night, but I'd watch it as it affects obviously the whole downtown. And everybody. Okay. So as part of this, then also coming up in January, the 28th, we're going to have a downtown parking study. For those of you who remember, PS Resorts did a parking study in January about our downtown. Palm Springs is actually overparked, meaning we have more than enough parking except for a few special events. However, it is not well designed. So we're working on an implementation plan for wayfinding, signage, potential changes in times, and also relocation issues, because you can sort of move your car 100 feet and just stay there. So that'll come up. Couple other things. In March, we start with the new boards and commissions recruitment. So that'll go on for 2 months for any open positions. So keep an eye out for it. We have about 2 months in which you can apply, and that'll be on the city's website. We also then come up, by the way, I know everybody knows I'm working on the AI and tech thing. We have an AI networking event on January. Well,
high tech.
Yeah, this is why I'm working on it.
Thank you.
So January 21st, Agua Caliente, we're doing it with the chamber. We have this great AI artist and musician from Palm Desert who is hugely world famous. Is going to be a brief speaker, and also College of the Desert to speak briefly about their new AI tech curriculum that they're doing. And then we're planning our AI Expo, hopefully in April. The other thing is, I know we mentioned Black History in February. There's a million events in February. We have the Tour de Palm Springs, Modernism Week, the International Bear Convergence, McCormick's, Steve Chase, so it's a busy time for our city. Happy to answer any questions.
Yes, I had a resident call me. They want to know why the parking downtown was decreased from 3 hours to 2 hours.
It was decreased, or it was increased from 2 to 3. So that happened during the I think right around the pandemic or right before then. They also, this is part of the problem, because the parking is 3 hours from 12 to 8, which means you can park from 5 p.m. and stay till the next day at 3 p.m. Or you can get there at 9 in the morning and stay to 3 p.m.
Okay.
That's part of the problem.
And tell him that it's gone from 2 hours to 3
Yeah.
hours.
So the lots are 4 hours. And so this is part of the thing is downtown, you really should have on Palm Canyon, it should be the quick parking, the 2 hour parking. The lots should really be for the 3-4 hour parking. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, regarding the affordable housing on San Rafael.
Yeah.
I understood there was going to be some public meeting about, a city council meeting about this tomorrow. Is that a meeting at which the final decisions will be made, or is it just to hear public comment?
There's two things. There's 2 of them. So one of them was approved by the Planning Commission. So that would have just gone through. That didn't need to go to council necessarily for the project. However, the neighbors have appealed it. And the neighbors appealed it for a couple of reasons. They're worried, it's a 3-story building. They were worried about the sight lines into their property and the location of the refuse containers. So that's the appeal. There's another thing that will come forward for the city to potentially fund part of it, which is I think about 2.8 million plus reduction of fees. And then that will be decided tomorrow, assuming the appeal is denied. If the appeal is upheld, it won't.
So there are two projects that were proposed. Both of them are on San Rafael.
Yeah.
West of Indian Canyon. Is that correct? I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. One is on the south side and one is on the north side next to the navigation center. And that one is we're not approving the project. What we're considering is land, a loan for them to buy the land next to the navigation center. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Last month you had indicated that regarding the historic racket club property that the historic preservation group has something to say about what happens.
I'm not sure where they have gone, but they have moved forward. That one, Orchid Tree and the Town and Country, they have set their sights on as taking some kind of action to force something to happen. So I don't know what's happening with the Historic Racket Club. I met with the city manager a couple months ago. I'm going to follow up now. I mean, with the brokers and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Yes, sir.
So has the city of Palm Springs considered mixed income for housing projects? Just low income, you have maybe middle income too, and that makes it more.
Oh, middle income is actually what we need a lot. Affordable housing there's a lot of incentives from the state that enable them to do it. And so that's the reason why we end up getting more market rate and now these affordable housing. Moderate income is probably one of the things we need the most, and we would like to have it. There was at one point where we talked about an inclusionary housing ordinance, but that I don't think has gone through planning yet.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this works like 30 seconds and it dies, so. Submit a ticket to the chief. Hi, Scott. You can come over. The acoustics are better projecting.
Right here?
Yeah.
I talk pretty loud.
It
If it doesn't work.
does for a moment. Try it.
Okay, test, that works. Just very quickly, the mayor referenced the Ruth Hardy Park, and I really want to give a shout out to our new Parks and Rec Director, Nick Gonzalez, his whole team, really our public works staff. Just in the last couple of years, they've opened 4 brand new playgrounds in the city, and we've got another one that's going to open up in the next year. So when the mayor says we've transitioned parks, if you haven't been in there in a while, wow, they are really looking different. And I know Nick's not going to sit in on his laurels. He's got more stuff in the works, and we're just going full speed ahead. So doing a lot of good stuff. So congrats to them. Councilmember Bernstein referenced a little bit. We are, as we always do, trying to track the economy, how we're doing here in the city of Palm Springs. I anticipate in February, March, we're going to be going to council. We'll be giving them a revenue forecast on how we're doing, how sources and uses. Are we on track with our budget? So far, cautiously optimistic. I think you heard me say a year ago around this time we were worried about Canadian visitors or part-timers, people coming back, or is that going to impact us? We've been holding our own. We're doing okay. Some parts of the country are really not doing too well at all, but I think the fact that we continue to promote the importance of diversity and welcoming community to our community, I think it really has worked to our advantage, and we're doing okay. So we want to keep that message going and do everything else that goes along with it. So we will continue doing that, and we'll be talking a little more about our revenue forecast in about a month or so. You have all seen, you've seen the skirting up around our Sunrise Park Library, and it is in full renovation mode. It's gutted, stuff is going on back there. I was doing so good.
I think it's the timeout feature.
I was doing so good. I stepped forward. Well, just to let everybody know, I saw a little press release come out yesterday from our library foundation. And I don't know if you saw that, but they are raising money in addition to all the city support for our library to help support all the activities. And they just announced their capital campaign. They've raised $2 million for their endowment for ongoing support of our library. So I don't know if anybody here is on the Library Foundation. If you are, thank you very much. And we'll keep it going. We want to support them however we can. I know we talked about all the activities, some of the stuff Denise gave me. We have our big MLK Junior commemoration. That's January 18th at 2 p.m. at the United Methodist Church. We have our, oh, by the way, I want to mention also, we have, you may have seen the, really, I hate to say it, the old crappy parking lot that we own at Alejo and Bellardo? Bristow. Bellardo. Back there. Potholes, and so we're in about a week and a half, we're going to start a complete repaving of that parking lot, brand new striping, everything. So excited about that. I think Jeffrey mentioned the Palm Springs Health Run and Wellness Festival. That's January 24th, a lot going on. We talked about the Black History Committee Annual Gala. I think everybody is aware of that, February 7th. There was the zoning code update that's coming forward. And I think that's it for me, Mr. President. Thank you.
So I rigged this to shut off.
Hello? All right, so our speaker has a microphone. So tonight we're going to get an update on our vacation rental industry community. We have two speakers. We have Mike Panessa from VRON. We also have Patrick Clifford from the city. So why don't you two converge here and update us on the state of vacation rentals, please. Whoever gets the microphone first. Use that mic. Thank you, Denise.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Clifford with the Department of Special Program Compliance. We oversee the vacation rental program here in the city of Palm Springs. And thank you for giving me the time this evening to share a little bit of an update, especially since we're starting the new calendar year. So vacation rentals, what we've seen since really our tough enforcement started in 2017, if you look back from that point, there's been a decrease in overall calls and overall citations issued from our great enforcement from our code compliance team. But when we look at the last 3 years, calendar years specifically, we've seen a decrease in our calls, still kind of mirroring what we've seen since 2017. In fact, a 25% decline in calls for vacation rentals since 2023, and specifically a decrease from 465 calls to 345 calls here in calendar year 25. The same pattern goes with citations issued from our code compliance officers that respond to such calls. We've seen that there was a 31% decline in citations that were issued for vacation rental calls to a vacation rental property. So specifically, where in calendar year 23, our code officers issued 101 citations, that was down to 69 here in calendar year 25. So pleased to share that there has been a decrease, and what that means from us from the enforcement side is, one, we can view that the enforcement is working, but that's also less nuisance that's occurring in the neighborhood. So we like to see that positive information, and happy to share that with you. Overall vacation rental population, though, since January of 22, we have seen a 23% increase in vacation rentals to our program here in the city. Primarily though, much of that increase happened around the fall of 22 and the winter of 23. What we've seen since June of 24 is that the vacation rental population has started to slightly decline. And that's whether owners are selling and moving on from Palm Springs. If it's attributed to our vacation rental caps, we'd have to do further research. But while we have increased since January 2022, we are seeing a slight decrease since the summer of 2024. So. As I just previously mentioned, our ordinance does have a vacation rental cap. If you're not aware, in the organized neighborhoods, 20% of the residential stock in the neighborhoods can be registered vacation rentals. And we currently have 7 neighborhoods that are at that 20% or more, meaning that we cannot issue a vacation rental certificate in that neighborhood for that respective house. And what that means for a prospective owner is if they do come to the city, purchase a house, or if they already own a house and they want to become a vacation rental in that neighborhood specifically capped, they'd have to go on a wait list. So we do currently have 7 neighborhoods that are at or above the 20% cap, and we have 105 properties that are on the wait list waiting for an opportunity to open up to apply for a vacation rental. This has decreased since the ordinance was in effect to put the cap. I think when the ordinance was in effect, there was 10 neighborhoods that were at the 20% cap, and now we see that we're at 7. So these neighborhoods are opening up, and that's by design because eventually neighborhoods will get down to that 20% cap and then eventually go below the 20% cap. How long that takes is determines just how the market is as far as vacation rentals closing their permit and opening. So. Additionally, we wanted to just provide an update from the summer. And so not only does our department handle vacation rental compliance, we also handle co-owned housing compliance. And some co-owned housing is kind of referenced as Picasso, but Picasso is considered co-owned housing in the ordinance, and Picasso is not the only company that may be out there doing co-owned housing, but we do have a regulatory program to permit co-owned housing. This was amended and restated in the summer of 25 with ordinance 2114. What the regulatory program does is just its goal is to minimize the adverse effects in homes surrounding residential neighborhoods, where it puts in rules that only 30 are allowed in the city of Palm Springs, with restrictions that 2 per neighborhood are allowed in an organized neighborhood. Again, kind of like our vacation rental program, we have a very vetted permitting process that we handle administratively. So the owners have to apply for a permit, that they have to be inspected just like a vacation rental does, to make sure that there's safety requirements that are met. And again, confirms that this permit is privileged and it's not a right. So that if violations occur, this permit can be revoked or suspended. And that is it for my update. Thank you very much. I see hands. So
No question. Let me get a copy of that.
Yeah, I can provide. I'll get that. All right.
Patrick, got some questions. So, a few of them, so I'll throw them all out at you. So the graphs that you were showing, were they changed as a result of ordinance updates? And next question related is, are additional ordinance updates coming? So for example, one of the things that was well intended was the cap, which is a good idea, except for when you have larger neighborhood organizations and you put that cap, the concentration, for example, Upper West Side has 9 HOAs, most of which don't allow short-term rentals, but some of our areas do. So they end up concentrating in those neighborhoods to the point that if you were to take just that little section of our neighborhood, they're going to be really, really high, higher than any of the ones that you have there. So the concentration inside of a neighborhood organization is the challenge with that 20% cap. I don't know how that's being addressed, whether it's being done somewhat like we did with the cannabis ordinance, that there had to be a distance, a space between vacation rentals. as there are with cannabis facilities. And then the last question is, how are you handling areas of the city which yet remain not organized, not a 1PS neighborhood organization? Are those reserved, just identified as a reserved neighborhood as their own, or are they attached to any of the neighboring ones that are formed?
Yeah, no, great questions. Thank you. So the first question, talking about the graphs. So the graphs represent data that's reflective of our current ordinance, nothing from prior ordinance or something like that. So all this data is reflective from the ordinance that was passed in 2017 and later restated in 2022. So though the data in there is just really from the enforcement procedures, from calls and citations issued, and then of course the housing data too. So, but it's reflective of the latest ordinance information. With respect to density, that's ongoing conversation that we would like to have, especially if we go forward and looking at vacation rental units here in the future. But that's feedback that we would like from the community as far as what we're seeing and hearing from owners and residents and constituents, that while the density measures in place right now are the first step of looking at density, what more can be done? And that's feedback that we would like to receive and share with our council as far as what we're hearing. I've heard the same communication from a lot of owners regarding how, for example, we have apartments that are included in our residential stock as far as our residential counts in the neighborhoods. Well, we know apartments can't be vacation rentals, but that's still being counted as a number to increase the allowable vacation rentals in there. And like you specifically said, how that takes more concentrations in the neighborhood. That's definitely something that I know of, as well as what I've heard. So definitely there'll be talking points in the future to how better address concentration inside organized neighborhoods. And then going to your third point regarding the neighborhoods that aren't in an organized neighborhood, we do have those classified as residential areas. And so the mapping that we use to determine, to make sure that the 20% is applied, is that any areas that are outside of an organized neighborhood, they're kind of GIS mapped to be considered like RA1, RA2. So when you look at our housing table on our vacation rental website, you'll see, I think there's probably 13 to 15 RA neighborhoods we consider, so that we can still implement and enforce the 20% cap in those boundaries, I guess you would say.
Thank you.
There's a house in our neighborhood that routinely had like 6 and 7 cars. So we'd call, submit requests, they'd go, so many cars would go. Found out one time that they did not renew their vacation rental permit, but they continue to have different cars every weekend. And what I got back from the code enforcement person was they don't want to continue calling that home because it would be harassment. So what things are being put in place in order to identify people operating as vacation homes without permits, including the listing of those people on the waiting list? What are you putting in place?
Yeah, so great point. So if they're closed and we're finding that they're operating illegally, to the point, what we do in the back end is more of an investigative process where we look for advertising. The key for the illegal rentals is looking for where they advertising to still bring these guests in to rent the property. So that's going to be the key to stop them from there. We can, if there's a nuisance going on the property, try to obtain reservation data. Sometimes guests really give out where they reserve their property at. But a lot of that legwork is going to get done in our back end with our code officers, simply just by looking at the websites out there. And we do have a strict penalty process when we do find them operating without a permit. That if you're found operating without a vacation rental certificate, that's a $5,000 fine, and you're permanently ineligible to operate again. Now, if they are a bad actor and they just don't listen to us, obviously that's not going to stop them from operating, but the fines will keep increasing from there. And if the worst case scenario, if we have to take it up to more of a legal matter with our city attorneys, then we have that tool too, to start looking at what actions we can work with the attorney to get them to notice the stop, like cease and desist letters and further. So the first step is going to be a monetary kind of penalty enforcement from our side. And then once we kind of exhaust those measures, then we'll start working with our city attorney to see what applicable measures we can use to stop them from operating.
So if we suspect there's somebody in the neighborhood doing that, should we still be filing complaints?
I would definitely recommend emailing our, we have a tool on our website where you can report the property. Say, for example, you see them and there's multiple cars there. You can email us. maybe share that link again with the president here to
Use the app.
or you can use the My Palm Springs app and send it in yet, because then that will at least give us an address to where we can investigate and try to find advertising.
So, could you define what co-owned housing is?
Yeah, so co-owned housing is where, depending on the structure, but I think the common reference we use is Picasso. And I think it's where 7 or 8 owners, I believe, the company Picasso purchased the property, puts it in an LLC, and then 7 or 8 owners buy into that LLC. So it's 7 or 8 owners that own a property, but they share that based off of how much share they have of that property. So if there's 8 owners, they get to use that property for 1/8 of the time of the calendar year, and they have like I don't know Picasso's system specifically, but they have like a reservation system or some kind of system that allows one of those 8 owners to say, I'm going to stay at this time of the year, and the other owners aren't going to be staying there. But they're owners, but then they're co-sharing the kind of time that they're there at that property.
Okay, now, the second question, I live in a community which is still under development. So they're still building homes and selling homes, and that's going to continue for years. So at what point does a property enter into this system, and it's counted into the calculation as to what the 20% is? It when the property is sold, when the certificate of occupancy is issued, or what?
Yeah, it's when we look at it when the certificate of occupancy is issued. So now that's the point where it's it's safely to be habitated by a person. That's when we'd add it to the residential unit count.
Okay, thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to
Patrick, how many of the 30 that's allocated do they have for the Picasso type?
5. We have 5 homes, so we don't have a lot in the city. We haven't really received too many nuisance concerns as far as noise and anything like that. But thank you again.
Let's hear it for Denise.
Yeah.
All right.
She
Can I
just
join the
tech
IT
support, too.
department too? Yeah, tech support, right?
Throw this microphone away.
Okay. Oh, just,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I can do that.
There you go, okay.
All right, thank you. So my name is Mike Panessa. Excuse me. I am a resident of Palm Springs full-time, and I am a member of the VRON board. VRON stands for Vacation Owners and Vacation Rental Owners and Neighbors. Thank you for having us here today to speak to you, and I will try to be as brief as possible. So if there's any questions, I can answer those. So first off, VRON was formed in 2017, and we have always been about promoting well-managed vacation rentals. Tell you a little bit about the timeline. As Patrick mentioned, in 2017, the City Council passed Ordinance 1918, which really governs short-term rentals. Also in 2017 is when VRON was formed, and we were formed as a bridge between the city and permitted short-term rentals. We have always, as I said, been about well-managed short-term rentals. In October of 2022, the Palm Springs City Council made revisions to the short-term rental ordinance, and that was the first time they reviewed the ordinance since it was created in 2017. There was 2 major revisions to that ordinance. The first was they added the 20% neighborhood saturation cap, and the second was that they reduced the number of contracts allowed per short-term rental effective in January of 2026. In early 2025, VRON commissioned a financial impact study to look at the financial impact of that 2022 decision. I'll kind of go through some of the highlights from that study. But the study was done by an independent third party. It was done by a company or an organization called Tourism Economics, and they are a division of Oxford Economics, which, as the name sounds, is a part of Oxford University. They are a leading independent global advisory firm, providing forecasting, analysis, and data to corporations, financial institutions, and governments. So one of the biggest things they identified was that with that reduction in contracts or allowed contracts per vacation rental, in 2026, that would result in an $8.1 million decline in short-term rental revenue, but most importantly, a $1 million decline in TOT. TOT is the transient occupancy tax that Jeffrey Bernstein referenced that goes directly to the city's general fund. A couple of kind of highlights from the study. They looked at direct economic impact to the short-term rental industry, but also the total economic impact to the city. And I'll focus on the total. Direct impact would be impacts to things like companies that operate cleaning services or management companies, and a reduction in contracts, how that would impact them. The total economic impact would really impact the entire city's economy. And what they found through their forecasting models is that there would have been a $21.7 million hit to the city's economy. In that, there would be $6.8 million hit to wages and salaries, and about 150 job losses. So that might be a cleaning crew hiring a few less people to clean houses because there's less turnover. Might be a management company hiring fewer people to check on the homes before and after stays. But it also would be restaurants hiring fewer servers because they're not getting the tourism traffic. And retail stores maybe hiring fewer clerks because, again, they're not getting the traffic. We talk about legacy permits. Legacy permits are the permits that were issued by the city before the October 2022 revisions. And in late 2025, the city council eliminated just that contract reduction, going from 32 contracts a year plus 4 in Q3 to 26 a year. All the other revisions the city council made previously, the city council upheld those. Whoop, I just did something and made it go away. Say again? Thank you. Whoop. Oh, there, okay, sorry. So a couple of conclusions from the study. Oxford Economics found that legacy permit holders book more than 26 contracts per year, make up 25% of the permits held in the city, but they generate 43% of the revenue with an average of 32 contracts a year. Those extra 6 contracts a year have an outsized financial impact on the city's economy. These are typically what we would consider seasoned hosts who have demonstrated that playing by the rules and being a good neighbor pays off for everyone, and they help to contribute to the overall health of the entire city. And finally, that the tax revenue those legacy vacation rental permits generate provides much needed dollars for the city, helping fund all of the city services, including police and fire, which we are all very supportive of and respectful of, that we depend on year round. And that's all I got, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Yes, sir.
So, how many legacy permits are there?
Oh, boy. Jen, you?
That's a good question. Patrick?
I could get back and let everyone know. I'd have to look to see what the actual quantity is, but it's more than the new.
So right now, I think there's about.
2,900.
Say again?
about 2,400 out of the 29 something at the peak of all the.
So the vast majority of the permits are legacy.
So are those permits, do they run with the land, like if the property is sold, do they continue, or they?
No, it's part of the original ordinance. When a property is sold, the permit is automatically voided. Permits are not transferable. Yes, ma'am.
So do they take into consideration what happens to the people if they don't get an Airbnb? Do they just not come to the city, or do they go to a hotel? Because I know, like, in my family, will try for an Airbnb, and if they're not available, then we go to a hotel. Do they really just not come if they can't get an Airbnb?
So when Oxford Economics did their study, they used their forecasting models, and they found there is a percentage, and I apologize, I don't have that percentage for you, but there is a percentage that choose to go somewhere else. And I'll give you an example. When a family with little kids wants to come and stay as a family, maybe they want a private yard pool experience, they want a kitchen where they can have meals to get cooked meals and eat together. Those people typically, we find, don't stay in hotels. So they would go somewhere else. Now, a portion of those are gonna find a different rental, but another portion of them are gonna go somewhere else.
So did your Oxford study include the increased hotel occupancy here in town?
So I don't know that we know if it included hotel occupancy, because frankly, we would not have had that data to share with them. What they were using was their economic forecasting model. So I couldn't tell you if they used hotel occupancy.
Yeah, it just seems that your data is missing something. I'm curious about that.
I'm sorry.
Bruce, he's saying that if it didn't include hotel occupancy, his opinion is that it's missing a component.
Yeah, because I would say that I agree, because your model might be based on shall we say, a broader study that includes different destinations that maybe don't take into account the uniqueness of Palm Springs, for example. So I don't know how valid, the numbers could be when they don't actually have all the information they should have to arrive at these conclusions.
So I guess what I would say is that they are probably the leading expert in this, and they're taking into account any and every variable that they can for their modeling. So it's not something we led them to a conclusion. It's they gave us the results. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I see the command staff of the Spine Police Department, here comes the chief. The chief of the work, that's not theirs.
Come on, guys. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Good.
Awesome. I want to just start out this part of the session by introducing a few people. You probably already know them, but maybe in new and different roles. I went to City Council and asked for a new position, that is a deputy chief position. And Council was gracious enough, with the city manager's support, to give me that. And the reason for that is two reasons. One is continuity of leadership, that we need to make sure that it's consistent every day, that somebody is available 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, to have the same mindset, to have the same principles, to have the same ideology of policing, and put that person in place. Second reason is succession planning. Believe it or not, I won't be here forever. I know it already seems like it's been forever, but that day will come eventually. And I want to make sure that somebody is fully ready, fully trained, fully capable of taking over the position, so that there is no misstep whatsoever in the leadership of this police department. It's too important of a function to leave it to chance. So went to council, asked the deputy chief position, went through the process, and the last person standing, I should say, is Kyle Stern. Just a little history on Kyle. Kyle has been a tactician for 20 years. So from a technical standpoint of policing, he knows exactly what to do in very complex environments. He's calm under fire. He handles the pressure well. But more importantly, one of the things that policing struggles with all across the nation is accountability. How do you hold people accountable to make sure that they're doing their jobs, not only in the blue uniforms, but also in dispatch and front office and so forth. So Kyle is putting processes in place to make sure that we are executing the mission that City Council has given us and doing it as best as we possibly can with the resources that we have. So I'm very pleased to elevate Kyle to this position. And I think that we're on a roll right now. Things are on fire inside the, no offense back to Ryan. Things are on fire in the department. We're seeing some great results. The level of activity by our officers is way up over the previous year. And we'll be able to release that data in the not too distant future. But we're seeing that across the board. And I think what you're hearing inside the organization is that we're policing with a sense of urgency. And I think that is where we want to be. Second person is Captain now, Gus Ariza. Gus, as many of you know, has been the liaison to the LGBTQ community for a very long period of time. And as we restructure the organization to reflect the deputy chief as well as two captains' positions, we want to make sure that it's balanced and that we're handling all the details. And Gus has now taken over special operations. It was just an investigative function or just an administrative function, but now we want them to have hands-on so that we don't have incidents take place like we had at Festival of Lights Parade. We want to make sure that we have enough people in place to overlook the operations plans, to make sure that we're seeing the details, and we're checking those boxes all up the chain of command. So by the time it gets to me, there are no questions, we have it handled. That includes additional staffing and special operations side. I can't say it again. And Gus is a perfect person for that. Gus has, again, extensive experience tactically, but more importantly, Gus is one of the kindest, most humane people I've ever met in my life. He really cares about people. We need one other person to go over special operations, and that is Lieutenant Villegas. We need someone who's shy, reserved, introverted, to go over there. No, Mike is now the SWAT commander, so we're putting all the real sensitive units under Mike to be able to handle those things and make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck, and we're excited to have him there. And then last but not least is Lieutenant Torres. Mike Torres, Lieutenant Torres was a patrol sergeant not too long ago, but has now become a lieutenant, and now he's digging into our budget process and our staff report process to see where we can maximize savings and reduce the amount of time we invest in that. No doubt that city government is very bureaucratic and very complex, but there's got to be ways to shorten it and to do better so that we can move faster on some things. And so Mike has put the fire under all of our rear ends to make us move faster, and that is, again, paying huge dividends. So we really feel like we're in a good spot with the reorganization, with different additional people in the command staff positions, and hopefully in the near future you'll see a result, more importantly, in crime trends and going down, quality of life going up. That's our goal. So I just want to introduce them and thank them for stepping up to the plate. Real quickly, one of the things I've asked of them is I want them out here 24 hours a day. So trust me. And so 24/7, if there's an incident that takes place, I want a leader there on scene. I can't always be there. For the first time in my 10 years as a police chief, certainly in the last 4 years here, I feel like I can actually take a vacation and turn off my phone. I won't turn off my phone, but I will take a vacation. And I'm really grateful that I know that all these, our leaders can step up to the plate and do just an absolutely fabulous job. And so that's meaningful to me personally. Okay. I don't have to take, we don't take questions.
No, no.
Transparency is only a.
I just want to mention that there was a rally that happened in like 2 days' notice due to the federal, never mind. I won't.
It was a rally, we get it.
Yes, and I just was so impressed that these folks came out and supported everybody at that rally. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe we're very, very lucky, or I don't know. I know they'd have our backs if the feds came in here and tried to do stuff. That's all I can say. I know they have our backs.
So previously there were like a regional manager for the district. Is that still going to be in place?
Yeah, so I can touch on that a little bit. So we are, with this creation of the deputy chief position, we are restructuring the organization a little bit. So we're creating a new division, the Special Operations Division. As a result, these two fine gentlemen who have been serving this group and this organization for many months and years, they're going to be reassigned. So I'm making my first executive decision now that I've had the cookies in the back of the room. I will be your new liaison. For this
Because of the cookies.
Because of the cookies. So all joking aside, so this is one of the fundamental things that Chief has put in front of us as a challenge, is that every manager at every level should be capable and knowledgeable through vast different divisions and assignments throughout the agency. We're not going to silo people into one particular job or one particular role. Everybody's got to be a subject matter expert as you move higher and higher up the chain of command. So they're going to spread their wings and go focus on those more special details. Mike is going to be focusing on the budget and some other administrative things. So you're going to have some new faces in here. I'll be your primary liaison, but the districts are still in place. You have the North District, South District, Central. You're going to have Lieutenant Eric Larson. You're going to have Lieutenant William Hutchinson. And then you're going to have Acting Lieutenant Miguel Torres, who many of you may have come across in his service to our community. So we are still operating full speed ahead in the patrol division. I'll be kind of running oversight on that directly, but the structure of that is going to remain the same. So I'm going to do my very best to be at as many of the organizational meetings, working with Denise all the time on what the community has going on. We are going to be having our second annual Behind the Badge event right here at the Palm Springs Police Department next month in February. I believe the 28th is the date. It's a Saturday. This is where we open our doors. We bring in a lot of our specialty units. You get an opportunity to meet the staff, some of our volunteers. This is just a great opportunity for us to all kind of get to shake hands, mingle, get to know one another on a much more personal basis. So we really encourage you guys to spread the word on that. We'll make sure Denise gets the flyer and that she can put it out across the internet to everybody. But we've got a lot of fantastic things happening in the agency. We really have a lot of reinvigorated sense of purpose. And I'm here to make sure that our team has everything that we need so that we can serve this great community in the manner in which it's accustomed to and which it deserves. So this is a thrill for me. 23 years. Wasn't born and bred here, but my entire police career has been with Palm Springs PD. So this is an unbelievable honor for me to lead this team and to serve this community. So I'm thrilled. I'm happy about those cookies, and I'll be
I've had the privilege of working with all four of you. You taught me so many things. I appreciate that. You've been there when I needed to, if it was important or if it was just something scary. So, Chief, you did a good job. I would like to know if I could catch one of you after the meeting for an issue in the Rogers Ranch more.
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Could you repeat the assignments to the different districts?
Yeah, so you're going to have Lieutenant William Hutchinson. He's going to take over command of the northern district of the city. You're going to have Lieutenant Eric Larson. He is still going to remain the southern district commander. He's been the southern district commander all year. And then you're going to have Acting Lieutenant Miguel Torres. Now, whenever we have people in acting roles, that is to fill a short-term vacancy. But he is really he's been running and supervising our impact team. This is our unhoused community liaison. They deal with our community outreach specialist who helps with individuals in mental health crisis. So he has really been heavily invested in the downtown area in particular, the reopening of our substation with Lieutenant Mike Torres. So for the time being, while Miguel Torres is an acting lieutenant, he will be the Central District Commander. But any issues, I am the central hub of information for the patrol division. So anything can come through me. Email, I'll make sure everybody has it. Denise has it, she can put it out. Email is the best way to get in touch with me, absolutely best way. I hope that answers the question.
Paul.
Yeah, just a quick question. A couple of months ago, the substation was opened next to Maryland. So I'm curious what the status is of that operation. Has it met expectations? Has it exceeded expectations? Are there still some things?
It's been phenomenal. We've had it actually done a couple of things twofold. One, it's been very accessible to the community, so people going there getting their data needs met, such as reports or whatnot. But the other piece has been really cool for me, particularly, is all the tourists that come in there just to meet and hang out and just get to see what we have to offer. Maryland's standing right there, and having that interaction with the community and the tourists that come here that makes this place so special. We're lucky to have it. So it's been an absolute success.
So one thing related to that too is as we've rolled this out, one thing that we're always trying to constantly evaluate is there anything that we can add? Is there anything that we can amend? So based on the beautiful design of that park and those beautiful full-grown palm trees, sometimes people who aren't familiar that the substation is there just lack knowledge, lack understanding that we do have something there. So if anybody has good ideas about what we can do to just continue to raise the awareness that that resource is there, please do send that to Lieutenant Torres, and we'll work on incorporating that in our plan.
I have a suggestion.
Throw it.
Cookies.
It's not the budget anymore. We can make it happen.
We had Captain Skyberg, who, there he is. Come on up, Ronnie. And Rick, why don't you come up as well? Come on.
Hey, everybody, it's Max.
Why don't you step, Ronnie? Go ahead. Why don't you come in the middle? Acoustics are better without a microphone.
All right, good evening, everybody. Just two quick things to touch on. Our recruitment for firefighter paramedic is still occurring right now. The deadline ends on January 15th. We're looking to hire up to potentially 7 firefighter paramedics. I'm going to be honest, it's very difficult to find paramedics in California, in the county of Riverside, and even funneling them through our application process for the city. But we're doing our best, and we'll see what we come out of that. Okay. Secondly, we have an EMS so we have 3 administrative captains within the fire department, right? I'm one of them. There's 2 other ones. The other two fire captains, they specialize, or their niche would be considered a medical captain, and the other one would be a training captain. So their 2-year stint ended 2 weeks ago. So they decided, hey, you know what, I want to go back to the floor. So now they're back on the fire engines. So that's super cool, right? So because of that, we had to assign 2 other fire captains to take those places or those voids. So one is Captain Bonelli, who will be handling the medical side of everything, and he's the medical captain. And the other one is Captain Vaccarello, who handles our training division. I'm super excited to have those 2 captains in there. It's nice to have new blood, right? Yet I'm staying another 2 years. So, so I decided to stay another 2 years. I really, really, really enjoy this. I feel it's a different lens to have in this position than being on a fire truck or a fire engine responding to calls as a fire captain. I love the community outreach and just integrating myself within the city and just being around. So those are 2 things. And the third thing was yesterday we had I don't know if you guys heard about the 2-alarm structure fire down at 2800 South Palm Canyon. Yeah, so pretty good sized fire. It was 2800 South Palm Canyon, a 3-story commercial building.
Is that the Hilton?
The Hilton.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Sorry, we're firemen. We say addresses. So, so that being said, we showed up on scene. We had 2-alarm assignment, like I said. So that means we had resources from our fire department there, And then we had resources from outside of our city respond with us to the fire, right? So that lets you know like how important relationships are as well, right? We train together, we communicate together, and we just get on the same page. So when these large incidents do occur and they come into our city or we go to theirs, we're there to support each other. So what ended up happening is there was a fire in the 3rd story inside of a bathroom. Ultimately, our fire guys pulled fire hose up to the 3rd story, went into a hallway, checked on 3 different rooms up on that level, noticed, oh wow, we have some heavy amount of smoke in one of these rooms. They made their entry, they popped a hole inside the bathroom, and they went, uh-oh, that's fire. And it was, we call it a running fire, so when there's a common attic, a lot of the time the fire will run across the attic laterally. Fortunately, because of the construction there, the void was so small that the fire actually contained itself. It didn't have enough air in there, oxygen, for it to actually laterally keep going. So our guys went in there, put the fire out. We put a ladder stick up, so, you know, a ladder that's on top of the truck, the big old ladder, it's 105 feet, went up on the roof. Guys went up on the roof, cut a hole to release all the bad smoke and all the fire out of there, and put the fire out, and that was it. No injuries reported, and that's about it. Yeah, good. No, I'm undetermined right now. So it's under investigation. But it was located in the bathroom. Typically, from previous experiences, you know, in the bathroom, not saying that this fire was caused by this, but the exhaust fans, right? A lot of time the motors get clogged up, burn out, they short, create a fire, and go. So, yeah.
Clean your fans.
Yeah. Lastly, the 1 PS picnic.
Yes.
Yes, we are going to be there as well. We'll have one of our fire engines there. We are going to have one of our 1931. Have you guys ever seen the El Diablo, the 1931 LaFrance El Diablo? Yeah, it's a beautiful engine. Sometimes you get to see it when it works, but most of the time it's broken. So part of the reason we're going to have that there is to, for the association, the Palm Springs Firefighter Association, to raise funds to make that thing pretty. We want it operating. I did not like the fact personally that we could not put it into our parade this year. Veterans Parade, Pride Parade, any parades, Christmas, the Christmas one, what's it called? Festival of Lights. Yeah, Festival of Lights. I call it the Christmas Parade. Festival of Lights and so forth. Like, that's our backbone. The fire department, that is our backbone. And so for that thing to not be present, I find it to be unacceptable. So we're going to fix it. So, thank you.
Danny couldn't be here tonight, so you're accepting the award.
Excuse me, Max.
Let me get out of your way.
Stay there.
First of all, hey, Happy New Year. I don't know when that was, but Happy New Year. Seems like a long time ago. I'm here for Danny DeSelms from Emergency Management. I'm Rick Weingart from CERT Community Emergency Response Team. We had a class this weekend. We graduated 19 people for emergency preparedness. Thank you. We have another class coming up in early March for those that would like to attend. And I've got a couple flyers that'll be in the back, or you can reach Danny and just sign up. We're looking to fill the class again with 35 people. And is anybody here from Smoke Tree? Smoke Tree Ranch? No? Okay. We have a presentation going tomorrow for somewhere between 40 and 50 people for emergency preparedness. I'm actually doing it, and I'm filling in for Danny. We're going to try and get them, they want to concentrate on being prepared at home, not when they're out, not when they're doing errands, but they really want to concentrate on what happens and how to be prepared at home. So we're going to be running that tomorrow as well. Other than that, thank you very much.
One more thing, I apologize, holidays and so forth. Thank you so much for all the presents, the donations to the kids for the toy drive. This toy drive smashed last year's toy drive. So next year, let's just make it even bigger. But if you guys only knew the messages that I get via text message on our social media, of just how grateful people are that we put this thing on. But it would not ever work if we didn't have you guys. And that's the truth. So it was great. I appreciate it. Thank you. Come on, buddy. Thank you.
Sochi's not here. Okay, Liz, come on down.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year again. Just a quick reminder for your Christmas trees, holiday. To remove those decorations, we're still collecting those. You don't need to call us. Just go ahead and set them out at the curb. Make sure they're 4-foot pieces if you can cut them, or call us if you need help. We will still be collecting those this week. If we missed you, then do call us and we'll make sure to take care of it. That cleanup, holiday cleanup, extra trash that you have during the holidays, please know, remember, you do get 2 bulky items for free, or depending on the area, you do get it picked up for free. So just call us, let us know. We'll take care of that. Shredding event, Ben is not here. Did anybody make it to the shredding event this weekend? Yes, perfect. It went well. It was amazing. E-waste collection as well. And next event will be April. So I'm sure Ben will be here to remind us all. And then for your organics waste collection, I know I have not bugged you about food waste, organic waste. It sounds like we still have a little bit of misunderstanding on the bags. I know that it sounds counterproductive. I know that we are asking you to recycle your organic waste and put it in a bag. Yes, I know. So I'll explain a little further on that. Organic waste, the facility where we take the organic waste requires that it be bagged. Of course, if you can, use a compostable bag, and they're provided at most grocery stores provide you with those compost bags for your produce. You may use those. If not, you can purchase those at any retail store. If you're going to purchase those. If you have plastic bags that you can reuse, that's your next best option. So just reuse anything you have from your bag from your bread, or your Ziploc bags, or any grocery bags that you've already used. Those are okay. They don't have to be completely transparent. Just we ask that it's not black bags. So I know, again, it sounds counterproductive. Sorry about that. It's just a requirement. But again, if you can use biodegradable compostable bags, great. If not, anything that you can reuse will also be great. And that's it for me, unless questions. Yes.
Just to double check, palm fronds you can now put them in the green bin,
yes,
correct?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes. Things have changed. Yes.
Are you ever going to have tours for the composting?
We're working on those. So that doesn't go to our facility. It goes to the Edom facility, and we have been trying to work with our sustainability to schedule that. I know that at some point we had a few people lined up, and then a few people didn't. It didn't work out, but we will, both to the recycling facility and the compost. Yes,
Thank you
absolutely.
So much. Be interested.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
Recently, I had to bring some extra waste to the facility on Williams, I think it is. The bins, like, I'm not sure where to put some stuff. For example, I had some extra styrofoam blocks there.
Oh, yeah.
These two say recycled, this says electric. I'm not sure where it goes. So is there a better way? Maybe there's an opportunity to put better signage out there so it doesn't wind up in the wrong spot. Especially if you want us to classify the waste.
Absolutely. So styrofoam would be recyclable. We try to put the blue bins. We'll make sure we label those blue bins again to make sure that it's more clear. And then for the e-waste, we've separated and included small cages for like phones. I know people were concerned about dropping off drives or phones and people getting into them. So now they're locked. So you can drop those off there and it's secure now. And then appliances, you just drop them off there in that open area. Any big appliances you have. Yes.
Just for clarification, any styrofoam is actually recyclable now?
No, sorry, that's a great question. Thank you. I'll dive into recycling. I'll be here all day. But big blocks of styrofoam, yes, they're recyclable. Small peanuts, not recyclable. Those go to waste. Yes. Sorry. Thank you. Any other questions?
Can I make a suggestion for the peanuts? The antique stores here in town love those. So if you have clean boxes and they're filled with those peanuts, take them over there on like Sunny Dunes over there. they'll take those because they ship things and they need a lot of packing, so.
Same with the UPS stores and postal PS.
Yeah.
Places like that.
Yeah.
They want them too.
What about that like styrofoam wrap with like wraps? Is that cool? Like you got like the plastic wrap, and then there's also like long strips of.
Big parts of, yes, they're okay, yes, they're recyclable. Any other recycling? Okay, any questions? You guys know how to reach us at Palm Springs Disposal. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Denise, come on down. We have a picnic update. We are,
Early.
you are welcome.
Okay, how many of you went to the picnic last year?
Denise.
Oh, right. All right, what's coming up this year? What? Oh, stand here?
Yeah, under the,
I get used to the same thing under here.
under the thing.
Oh, hi.
Bed shell.
Camera. Okay, so the 17th annual picnic is coming up on Saturday, March 21st, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Ruth Hardy Park. So we're trying to get as many of the neighborhood organizations involved and have booths again as possible. There's forms in the back you can fill out. There's a flyer. There's information about we need sponsorship. We're trying to raise $10,000 so everybody gets a free lunch. Kat's been great going to the post office and getting checks and getting registration and everything for us. So it should be a really fun time again this year. But I just urge you all just to be creative. We're going to have contests for the best decorated booths and everything. So
Any hints on new lunch vendors, or is it too soon?
no, it's a little too soon. I'm meeting with Jasmine, so we're going to see.
Jasmine's back.
Jasmine's helping us out, yes, with our group. Let's see what else is going to say. I've also sent this out via electronic copy. I'm going to post it on our website. Richard has it posted on the One Palm Springs website, one-ps.org. So you can fill it out and get it to us. So we just really like to fill it up, get more. I think we only had 12 or 14 neighborhoods involved last year or so.
Let's double that.
Yeah, let's double that. It'll be good. It's a lot of fun. It's just a great day. It's only 11 to 2. You come out an hour before, then you pick up and you're gone. You get free lunch. So it's a fun day. So just start thinking about that now. And also, for the best costume contest for the doggies.
Yeah.
We're putting together little baskets for them, for the winners and everything. So the next 2 meetings, can you bring doggy treats or any doggy toys? Just donate some, bring them a little bag, and then we'll put them together and it'll be part of the gift. So, any questions
The
on?
booth competitions?
Yeah, the booth competitions again.
Chief is judging.
The chief is judging. Let's see, $100 for first place, second place $75, third place $50. Chief Mills' wife is going to be judging the doggy costume contest, and I think Kitty Alvarado will help us MC. So it'll be a fun day. It's a nice breezy, cool day, and get to meet your neighbors. So anyway, any questions? Thank you.
Yay,
We have about 6 more minutes if you want to sit around. Any public comment? Yes.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, are you going to do something with all of the responses that you got from us? That you, the question,
Yes.
okay.
I was going to let you finish, but you're
Oh, okay. My other question was, because our community is in El Dorado, we are in the process of, we have an old facility, and we are struggling with getting really accessible, appropriate ramps. We were wondering if any other communities are finding it hard to have ramps that are really maneuverable, not steep ones. So that's one of our really big concerns.
You're talking about accessibility, like wheelchair?
Like
or
wheelchairs,
cars?
walkers, whatever, yeah. Ours are too steep.
Oh.
Is anybody else having any issues around this? Okay, that was I'm done.
Okay. To the earlier point, not ready to present yet, but thank you all. I think a dozen neighborhoods responded to the kind of flash survey of what should we work on this year, what are some of the hot topics. It would probably come as no surprise that traffic calming was one of the most popular. And so this new command staff that has now left us for this evening will be hearing from Palm Springs, from 1PS, about what can we do to step up, not make them work harder, but how can we really get a handle on just poor driving. I can't even list all the things that happen. Cathedral City has some interesting technology. I'll just sort of leave that there. We'll look into whatever solutions exist in neighboring communities. Help me out. We had there are 3 top topics. Traffic was one. I wasn't ready to present that tonight, but we're gonna form subcommittees, task forces, those kind of things, and want you all to like join in. So it's not like a little board thing we're gonna do. We want everybody to participate. Colin? I'm just, see your head.
I was looking on the website, I couldn't find the Blades presentation that you were talking about.
Okay, we'll make sure it gets there.
You need to send it to me.
Okay.
Send it to me,
I'll send it
and I
to
can
you.
put it on.
It goes to him, you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the two other.
Yeah, but traffic is like one of the biggest issues. I mean, the things that we expect. So you'll hear more about that soon, because we want you all to chime in and help us do that. Next meeting is the 10th of February at a location to be decided soon. Any questions last minute? Pardon? 4 p.m. Thank you. Yeah. Happy. Yes, Paul.
Yeah, I want to kind of address what she asked about El Dorado Palms. So when Bob and I were neighborhood formation support, and we go to all these meetings, something that came up for manufactured home, mobile home parks throughout the city was the need for a joint powers agreement. There are many cities in the state that already have it. I think Patrick gave me some information on it, that there's like 73 cities that have it, including, is it Palm Desert?
Palm Desert.
Rancho Mirage already has one. It's had one for like 30 years. And what that does is it allows the city to have code compliance inside mobile home parks, which the city does not because they're controlled by the state. And I think this is an ideal project for 1PS to develop, have a ad hoc committee about it, form a position, share that with the larger group here, and present to our leadership that this is something that neighborhoods really need. Because I think there's 11 or 12 mobile home parks in the city, so a joint powers agreement really has been needed for a very long time. It's been pushed, and I think we need to stop kicking the can down the road and do something about it.
I'll appoint you
Thanks.
chair of that committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
How about Patrick?
Okay, co-chairs. That's how it works. Any other questions,
He was
comments,
just sitting
volunteer to join things? All right, we'll adjourn, and thank you so much. We'll see you next month.
I know, something.